Hey everybody, I'm back. I decided to take a look at this live stream that she did. This thing is only about 2 hours long, and the only reason why I'm doing it is because of what I've been reading on Twitter, that she does actually get into the topic of Charlie Kirk, and I'm kind of curious what she says about that. You know, considering she's not an American, and she's cosplaying as a Muslim in a foreign country that isn't hers. You know, she always has something to say about American politics or just America in general, which I find odd. I'm going to try to bite my tongue through this whole thing. I'm sure I'm probably going to get mad probably at some of the things she says. Yesterday was a traumatic day for many people. Even if you know, were not a supporter of his and you didn't like him, if you saw that video, I don't think I've watched a lot of videos and I've seen a lot of, you know, things on video. To see something like that happen to somebody that I've watched, that many of you have watched and listened to the debates and all of that, you know, they come up on YouTube Shorts, on TikTok, you know, all that. So everybody's, you know, at least in America, everybody's familiar with Charlie Kirk. It was very traumatizing to see the video of what happened to him, and to think that his wife was there and she witnessed that, and all the young kids in college that witnessed that as well. It's a horrible thing. A difference in political opinion, things like this, you know, something like this shouldn't happen. It's not right. Yeah, I'm still in shock about it. But anyways, let's see what Chantal has to say about it.
Oh. Hey, Kimby, Eraser, Gorgeous, Strawberries, Gabrielle, Coffee, Barbie, Yes, Kayla, Nubby, Sneakerhead. I have a bad headache. Jammy Dodgers. What's that? Hey, Karen. Tooth Gap. Oh, thanks, Crystal. Poetic. Hello. Brooke, Fernanda, Lisa. Hi. Yeah, I've been drinking water, but then I have to went to the washroom more. You have a headache? Thanks, Poetic Mandy Lane. Biscuits. Oh.
Oh, by the way, if you hear like a snoring sound in the background, that's Lady. She's right here next to me. It's her afternoon nap.
Hardly. Oh, yeah, Peetz will have a very, he won't be too sympathetic about it.
Excuse me, nobody really cares what Peetz has to say about the subject. Number one, he's not American, and number two, he's a weirdo, so nobody cares.
Migraine twins. Hey, Living Ira. What are they, Jammy Dodgers? I never heard of that. A picture that sounds like like a football team. It's finally cooling down. Yeah, it's pretty cool right now.
Really? I'm going to have to go look at that then now. Chantal, I have to say Pete's live stream last night about the schmurder of Charlie Kirk was just vile. I think he needs a talking to. I'm curious. I'm wondering, what did he say? I mean, do I want to watch this? Maybe not. Maybe emotionally, it would probably not. I'm going to have to think about that. Yeah, I don't, like I said, after what happened yesterday, and then, you know, watching the news, trying to wait and see what happens and all of that, because like I said, we have family. We're attached to Utah, our family, so we've been talking to them up there. We actually have some relatives that actually live in Orem, so it's kind of scary. And to see the things that people were saying online, like, I understand that people don't like him. I get it, you know, because of the things that he said. I completely get it and I understand it. But some of the things and the celebrations and all of that were going on, it's just disgusting. It's all sickening to watch. And now hearing that Peetz was a part of that, I mean, I'm not surprised. But like I said, birds of a feather. Chantal attracts the most vile individuals into her life. So I'm not surprised he was one of those weirdos doing that.
I'm laying in bed. Yeah, Aaron, you should. Cookies, electrolytes. Yeah, poetic. He needs a lesson in empathy. Well, you know that Charlie didn't believe in empathy, right?
No, excuse me. That's not. See, she's pulling that out of context, and I've seen that being floated around a lot. It's not that he didn't believe in empathy. He actually believed in sympathy more than he did than empathy. So it's not like he was an uncaring individual. That's not true.
Amanda, 4 a.m. in Malaysia. Hey, Elvira. Actually, I don't really talk politics much on my channel because I want to avoid, vitriol and hate just for opinions. And then I thought, if you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing. I don't know, Meg. At least the BP, I don't know. Oh, jam in the middle. So Charlie Kirk is a conservative MAGA activist.
That's not true.
And
he's not a MAGA activist. He's a political activist and like a conservative, I guess, right wing, if you want to call him that. He's a supporter of MAGA, but I don't believe he's like a MAGA, whatever she said, activist. Does that even exist? I don't even know if that exists. I know there's supporters, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I did do the research. I didn't have any idea who this guy was. And then I did some research all day, pretty much watching videos. It's all over social media.
TikTok, she said. That's where she gets her education from. She gets it from TikTok. It almost slipped out. So that's what we're dealing with, TikTok.
And I would like to give an opinion because I was, you have to people say freedom of speech, but I don't feel like speech is free. You really have to be careful what you say, and what happened to Charlie Kirk is a huge prime example of that. So I don't think that he deserved to be unalived for his opinion, especially as a Muslim. And this is coming from,
he's not a Muslim. Is she saying that he's a Muslim, or is she saying that as a Muslim? Because that sounded confusing. I believe he is a Christian nationalist, if you want to call him that. What is it? What religion did he follow? I can't even remember. Was it Pentecostal? I don't even know. I'm going to have to look it up. I don't even remember.
Pretty things I don't agree with, things that are very damaging to Islam. Hey, Elvira. Things that are very damaging to maybe minority groups, things that could be seen as, racist, Islamophobic, all that. And even after hearing things that I don't agree with him, you could say he had some vile opinions. Right, Saber. I don't think, the thing is that words, they can cause harm because
exactly.
At least, people.
It's kind of, and this is the thing. This is quite funny coming from her, as far as trying to explain to us that words have consequences. She needs to really look in the mirror. It's quite astonishing how she gets on her soapbox and does these every now and then, where she's trying to be, I guess, if you want to call it philosophical or whatever the hell she is doing here, and try to school us on things like this. It's amazing.
Who don't have sympathy for him would argue that the world is a better place without him, because his rhetoric and his ideologies are dangerous to society and minority groups, and they're poisoning society. I don't believe that he had a right. I don't believe that, especially in America, where you're supposed to have freedom of speech.
You're not an American.
You know, he was also an advocate for being able...
This is the thing. We have freedom of speech in America, but there are limits to freedom of speech in America, Chantal. I don't know if you understand that.
To debate and have different ideologies without violence. And I think that is... I agree with that. You know? And even if he doesn't agree... Even if he doesn't like Islam, as a Muslim, I would say that I have empathy where he didn't believe in that. I have empathy for his family. I have empathy. I think that that's just awful. But apparently they were in the front row. I think that the world, like, what has the world come to where it's like...
I don't know. You know what? Why don't you go outside and take a look around at where you're at and ask yourself that question. What has the world come to? Look at your surroundings.
This type of thing is celebrated. He said he doesn't believe in empathy, but why should, if we have empathy as people, then we're better off. Why should we let the words of someone else harden our hearts and make us become like them? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. Maybe you should ask yourself that question while you're being radicalized in Syria. Why don't you ask yourself that question, Chantal?
Hidden Sapphire. I see a lot of, like, division in the United States when it comes, especially with politics. The left and the right, they're always blaming each other. And as long as there's that kind of division, there's never going to be peace. There's never going to be peace. And honestly, it's just going to, you can disagree with him. You could think he's vile. You don't agree with him. But to see someone get shot in the neck and bleed out over, and be happy with that, I don't know how people can do that. Hey, Michaela. Lorena, right? Hey, Lavisa. And I don't even agree with a lot of what he says. I will admit there's a few things that I do that I thought he debated well that I agreed with.
Oh, I'm curious. Are you going to say?
But I'm not going to say what it is. But it has nothing to do with Islamophobia, racism, stuff like that. Nothing, yeah.
Okay, I just looked it up right now because she keeps referring to Charlie Kirk talking about he didn't believe in empathy. Okay, here's the quote. I'm going to read the quote that I found. It said, Turning Point, this is the claim. Turning Point USA CEO and co-founder Charlie Kirk once said, I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term. It does a lot of damage. Okay, that's the claim. And then the context, it said, this is what it says. It says, Kirk's remarks delivered during an episode of The Charlie Kirk Show on October 12, 2022, also included him saying he thought of empathy as a very effective way when it comes to politics and that he preferred sympathy over empathy. So that's, I guess, was his exact quote. It wasn't that he didn't believe in empathy. So she's trying to spin that and make him seem like he was just this, like, I guess, non-feeling robot like her husband, I guess. I don't know.
No, Peetz will not agree with me. And he's very, very strongly opinionated when it comes to, you know. But I've only been, like, researching this for a day.
On TikTok.
A broken clock is right twice a day. Yeah, I did see it too. I didn't want to see it, but it just, like...
Yeah, I didn't want to see it either.
Up. It's, like, not... It's available on TikTok, not blurred out. Like... I don't know. To me...
That's the sad thing about it, is the video, you couldn't get away from the video. The video, today it's not popping up as much. It still pops up here and there. But for some reason, I don't know why, on Twitter, you could not get away from that video. Every other post was that video. Maybe people were doing that on purpose. I have no idea.
You know, it would not be a good, like, Muslim thing to do, to celebrate somebody being unalive like that.
I don't know. You know what, though? That she's saying that, there was a video, and this is, like, people called Trump a liar for this. Do you guys remember? And it's so funny that today is 9/11. While all this, I mean, it's insane. There's so much going on. There's videos of Muslims. I'm not even going to say the comment I was going to say because it's going to be controversial. There's videos of Muslim people celebrating death, especially, you know, burning the flag, jumping on the flag, celebrating, especially on 9/11. There were videos of that. So come on, Chantal. Stop acting like, you know, you guys are above everybody else. That's not the case. There's evil people everywhere, and there's evil people that celebrate death everywhere. Come on.
The part I agree with on him mostly is when it comes to abortion.
Oh my goodness.
And that's coming from somebody who's been through that.
How many times? Like 2 or 3, I believe.
Who's been there and done that?
Yeah, she's been there and done that. I think 2, 3, 4 times. Who knows? Multiple times, let's just say.
So, yeah. I'm a lot more conservative in certain... I don't know if I agree with him on everything about abortion, but there's some things that made sense. And I'm having, you know, now that, like, I've reverted to Islam I'm a lot more conservative in certain things.
Like what? Excuse me. How are you a lot more conservative since you became Muslim in certain things? What was the video that you posted today? That's not being a conservative Muslim, shoving all that pasta into your face hole. That's not being conservative at all. In fact, that's breaking one of the rules, and it's actually haram to be shoving that amount of food into your face, the gluttony on full display in front of thousands of people while squatting in a country where there's an active famine going on. You think that's Muslim behavior? Okay.
Yeah, it was really... Yeah, I did, Michaela, and a long, long time ago.
Please.
I don't know. Yeah, there's some things I don't agree with, but...
I thought she was going to talk about it. Now she is.
There's certain things that made sense about that. Particularly, like... As a Muslim, honestly, like, if I
see, that's what I don't like. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. As a Muslim, it's like if I were to come on here, I'm no longer a practicing Catholic, but it's like if I were to come on here and be saying, as a Catholic, or as a Christian, nobody's out here doing that. She's the one putting that on herself. So that's why all of the reaction channels hold her to be accountable as far as when it comes to her so-called religion, because she's the one painting herself as this pious Muslim, as a Muslim, like she said. She's full of crap.
Okay, a lot of people
I hope
are
you
going to think
understand that
I'm
word salad I
ridiculous,
just gave.
Especially people in my audience, but
like,
I don't think...
I'm sorry for the word salad. Like I said, I'm so with all this stuff, there's so many things that are going on right now in the world that is affecting so many people. I have so many thoughts running through my head, so I apologize if it comes out as a word salad. Like, you know what I mean?
That people should engage in coitus if they're not prepared
Coitus
to be a parent. Now,
Shut
if
the
you
fuck
are
up.
forced into
Who
it,
are
that's
you?
different in my opinion.
Who the hell are you? Like, literally, you were in hotels banging guys from Turkey and the whole crew that would come over here to work in Canada. Like the whole construction crew. And they were passing you around. And you're up here on here trying to preach this shit right now? Get out of here, Chantal.
That, but when it comes to
Jeez.
I think a lot of people are just really frivolous and use it as a birth control method.
That's what you did.
Something I don't agree with.
Excuse me, that's what you did. You used it as a birth control method. And I believe, I don't know who, I know one of them was Peet's child. And I believe the reason why you had that done is because you didn't want the baby to turn out like Peetz. That came from your own mouth.
Hey, Julia. Teardrop, hello. I think a lot of what he said, it's kind of rage baity. Do you know what I mean? I was tearing my man up before marriage.
I mean, look at a lot of these people that are in this line of work. That is true. They say things to, they're fishing with the rage and to get people and all of that. And I mean, this was proven with the lawsuit that went up against Fox News and that whole voting machine and all those documents came out. A lot of the people that you see on Fox News, the opinions that they share in the news and the gaslighting and all that stuff, that's not how they are behind the scenes. They don't believe a lot of that shit that they say. It's all gaslighting. Because you know why? Because they make money off of that crap. So you don't think that Charlie Kirk kind of played into that? Of course he did. I'm not saying all of the stuff that he said was a part of that. I truly believe that some of the stuff that he said, he truly believed in. But he did partake in the gaslighting, especially when it came to going to certain colleges and, doing the debates and stuff like that. He knew how to trigger people. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. That's part of the game. That's the line of work that he was in. Nobody should be killed for that.
Oh, I didn't hear him say that, Nabi, but I don't agree with the whole worse than the Holocaust thing. That is just, that's, I mean, there are people who do living eye roll. People who, have unprotected and then, just get, pregnant and then change their mind about it. And
is that what you did?
Hey, Grace Vlogs. Fertile Turtle, I know. He did do a lot of rage bait. Now, it is ironic that he was talking about, gun laws and, basically saying that he's fine with there having to be casualties to protect the Second Amendment, right? When, he was... he's talking about gun violence and that, and then that's how he was, his life was ended. But
speaking of that, I don't know how many of you out there believe in conspiracy theories or follow any of that stuff, but the reason why all of this kind of has me kind of, I want to say freaked out or a little bit kind of like, what the hell? There's a lot of weird things that are going on, not only in the world, but with this case and things that are being shown. I saw one video where that wasn't the question that person had intended to ask, because I guess they were screening the questions before they went to the microphone. And when that person got to the microphone, they totally changed the question to mass pew-pewing or something like that. So some people believe that maybe have been a signal to the one on top of the building to shoot. I don't know. There's also another video that shows a guy that was standing in back of Charlie Kirk that it looked like he was doing signals, like hand signals, like almost something like you know what like you would see somebody doing on the field, so, in a game or something like that, like hand signals like that. And then he was shot. Not only that, the shot itself, to get that perfect of a shot from that far away, that's not somebody who just, goes and buys a pew pew at Walmart and decides to do something like this. That's somebody who knows how to do that and knows how to aim. The fact that they still haven't caught the person, that's another thing. And then not only that, the video that Trump did yesterday, where I guess it was from the Oval Office, it was posted on his Truth Social page or whatever. I don't know if it's available on YouTube, but it's on his Truth Social, where he was speaking about this from the Oval Office. And then I was sitting in the room, and my daughter was in here watching it, and we're looking at the video, and I was like, that's not really Trump. That looks like AI. And she's like, it has to be Trump. And I'm like, no, look at it. It looks fake. And so we're looking at it. And then today, all of a sudden, people are coming across, they looked at the video. The video looked fake. Like it wasn't even him. I don't even know why they would do something like that, because it would just make the people not trust the government to post a fake AI video of Trump. That's what it seemed like it looked like. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I have a little video that I did of it. I'll post it later. It was just really weird. There's just a lot of really weird things going on. And then not only that, the fact that there's what they were saying, that there was writings on the casings, something to do with pro something, a drag queen, I don't know, trans, something like that. And then anti-fascist movement on the casings of the bullet, which is all of a sudden a trend now in these type of incidents, which I find kind of odd itself. To me, just the feeling of this entire thing, it reminds me, the only thing that I could think of to compare this to is if you look at America like a frying pan, right? And you have all these pieces of fried chicken in the frying pan, and they're bubbling, and the oil's like right at the rim of the pan. And then you shove one more piece of chicken into that pan and it bubbles over. That's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of like they're purposely trying to do something like this, and that Charlie Kirk was tribute, because they're trying to bubble everything over and create something. That's what it seems like to me. I don't know. Call me crazy. That's fine. I really don't care. But something seems really off about this. Something's not right about it. And I hope other people can see that. Back to you, Chantal.
It's still, it's a human being at the end of the day. And if we just stop losing empathy, even though he didn't believe in empathy, it doesn't make us any better. And like he was extreme, yeah.
And and another thing I'd like to add, just because Charlie Kirk was pro MAGA and pro Christian nationalist and all of that, that doesn't mean that he didn't have enemies on that side. It's possible that whoever did this, because 100% that this was a hit, 100%. And there's probably more than multiple people involved in this. It might be coming from that side. Don't assume that it's always, the Democratic side. I mean, it could even be, like I said, he didn't have friends. He had enemies in Israel as well. Could be Mossad. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. It's all nuts. It's crazy.
Grimace. Well, you're allowed to your opinion, Yeah.
I just think, like I said,
I totally agree,
I hope I'm explaining this right. I'm sure people are going to get mad at my opinion. I don't know. There's just something that they're leaving this out here like this. And even the picture of the person that they've shown with all the technology that we have, you can't get a clear picture of this individual. Come on. It's just something seems fake and set up about it. And to me, it seems like they used him, Charlie Kirk, as a catalyst to implement something else. I don't know what's coming, but something else is coming. So everybody, like I said, people should get ready for some shit to happen.
Yeah, he's very religious. He's very religious. YouTube lover.
And this is another. Here's another conspiracy theory, if you want to call it that. That even they did this on purpose, and that they're going to try to, because the last few shootings, weren't they like trans people, right? And mind you, I've never met a violent trans person in my life, or a trans person that it speaks in any kind of way about weapons, anything like that. Never in my life. Okay. That they're purposely doing this to try to get everybody on one side, and it's going to be like a to take your pew-pews away. That they're going to use that to take your pew-pews away. They're going to go about it a different way, because that's what a lot of authoritarian governments tend to do. If that's what this is turning into. I don't know. Like I said, I've been reading a lot of stuff. There's a lot of people talking about a lot of different things. I think that's why I'm like overwhelmed too much. I need, like, after I do this video, I'm going to get off of this stuff, because I'm going to drive myself insane. I read too much.
But you know, I don't know. I don't know what to say if I regret it, because I don't want to be a parent.
What is this? Hold on. YouTube lover, try telling that to this community. This community doesn't care about women. This community says no shaming. Do you, boo? Everything is okay. Feminism is disgraceful in 2025. What? I think this community does care about women. I think this community cares more about women than you actually think, YouTube lover, or you whitey lover, whatever the hell your name is.
You know, I regret being irresponsible.
Please.
And I would never do that again.
You can't. You have no uterus.
I don't like the fact that people are paying I don't like his, that he supported Israel. I'm sorry, but I don't know how anyone can support Israel after, every day.
People can support Israel if they want to. I don't support the government of Israel. No, I don't, especially what they're doing. But I do support the people of Israel that are, basically there in Israel dealing with this crap government doing all this stuff. So yeah, do I support the people of Israel? 100%.
Seeing images.
Because there are people in Israel and a lot of people in other countries around the world that are Jewish and are from Israel that do not support what the government is doing.
Palestinians starving, dying by the thousands. There was that little girl that was shot 350 times. Not just a simple shot to the neck. She was shot with 355 bullets.
No, that's not the car was shot with that many bullets. The child herself, I don't believe, was shot with that many bullets. And what are you talking about? People starving in Palestine. You didn't have a problem thinking about that when you were shoving that pasta dinner for 25 people in your face earlier today.
Surrounded by the dead bodies of her family. And it's just like the world just doesn't care.
And I believe that was like in 2024.
Yeah.
That incident, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, 355, yep.
That's not true. It's true, but not the way she's explaining
in Rajab, exactly. So, I mean...
So, excuse me, then, wait a minute. Now, I remember when the incident happened in Israel, when all those kids were at the rave or whatever, and the party, and then the terrorists came in and killed all of them, and, there was dead babies and things like that. You were saying it was all propaganda. It's all lies. The Jews are lying. I remember you saying that, Chantal. So should we believe that the story about the child getting 325 bullets shot into her is all propaganda that you're spinning right now? Should we say that about, what you're saying?
Doesn't mean we support what he says. It's just, no, you're not blocked. It's just that, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's depressing. I know, but the thing is like, these things are happening, and it's just,
She has a lot of fucking nerve, man. She has a lot of nerve. These things are happening as she's sitting in a country where there's active raids and bombing going on right now to get active terrorists out of the country and removed from the country. And she's probably, hanging out with them as well. And she has the nerve to talk about what's going on in the world. She's disgusting.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
She's part of the problem.
I have no idea, Asteria, actually. Yeah, true, Jennifer. It is sad for his kids and family, and, for sure. Did as well. Well, some things I found, like, he was talking about, he was villainized for. I can't really think of, like, any instances, but I was like, that's not what he meant. I mean, like, but a lot of things, yeah, I don't agree with what he said in a lot of instances, but it is horrific, yeah. And so, I mean, like, hey, Tracy. Well, I think that this person, apparently, the person apparently on the bullet, there was, like, really chilling messages. That's what I heard. I don't know what the messages were. I don't think we heard what it is yet. We have voices to use, yeah. Hey, punk rock.
There was no chilling messages. There was a pro-trans... What I've read is there was a pro-trans message on some, or one, or whatever, and then an anti-fascism on the other. So there was no chilling. I don't know what she's talking about.
So I think that this whole, the unaliving of that CEO for the healthcare,
Giovanni?
What's his name? Luigi Mangione.
Oh, Luigi,
he kind of set
Luigi.
a precedent. Like
What?
I think this guy was kind of copying him in a way.
Are you insane? Are you insane? How are you comparing those two incidents? They're completely opposite. I'm not saying what Luigi did was right, but I think a lot of people in the United States that deal with medical issues and medical insurance companies understand why he did it. I'm not saying it's right, but nobody should be killed like that. But I think these two cases are completely different, considering we don't even know who the suspect was in the Charlie Kirk case. How could you say they're both the same, Chantal? You make no sense.
Yeah, fruity yogurt.
If you really go into the Luigi case, he was somebody that actually was injured and was dealing with years of pain. I don't know if that was the catalyst for him to do what he did, but I think that had something to do with why he had the mentality that he did. It's not even the same thing.
I'm not partisan, or what would you call it, bipartisan? Oh, it's not true. They like arrested like an old guy, and it didn't even turn out to be him, poor guy. And then it's like some guy who's apparently college age. I don't know.
From what I heard, this is what I've heard, is that there was a guy or something, I don't know, mental illness or schizophrenic or Tourette's or something like that. After this happened, he started like screaming some stuff, and that's why the cops took him into custody. It has nothing to do with him being associated with what happened at all.
But people are, hey Vanessa, just expecting like Muslims everywhere. to be celebrating, and it's like, no, that would not be the Muslim thing to do.
Please.
You know?
It happens all the time.
So
I
didn't say I was...
Look at, and this isn't like a slap against the people of Islam, because not, my opinion, I know a lot of people disagree with me. Not all people of Islam are to the extreme level like that. But for her to come on here and say that that's not the way of Muslims, when they were fucking celebrating when the Twin Towers fell on 9/11 on this day, and today is 9/11. And she's going to sit here, this piece of crap human being, and say that that's not the Muslim way, when all of us as Americans saw them celebrating this in multiple countries, jumping up and down when those towers fell. She could shut her face up. I have more choice words that I would like to say, but I'm not going to do it. I'm biting my tongue.
Conservative. I said I have more conservative
She's
beliefs
full of shit.
Than before I became Muslim. Yes, because I'm more modest.
Please.
In the way I carry myself. I dress more modest. I have different beliefs on sexuality. I have different beliefs on, a lot of different
excuse
things.
me. So, excuse me. So you have different beliefs on sexuality. So what are you saying? That you do not believe in rights for the LGBT, can't even say it, the gay community. I'm going to just say it. The gay and trans community. You feel that community doesn't have rights? Is that what you're trying to say? Since your opinion has changed on the subject?
Yeah.
How's she going to walk that back? Is she going to come on here and say that I'm not homophobic? That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant at all.
I don't label myself anything. The old guy said I shot him?
He had mental
was it
illness.
Distraction? That makes sense. Who even knows? I was very, very, very liberal. Yeah.
She was never liberal. She was never a liberal person.
Smart.
She was never a true, a liberal in the sense of the word. What she was is a piece of crap that likes to get high and drunk and party and sleep with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. That's what she was. That's not a liberal. That's just Chantal being a hoe. Let's not get the two twisted.
But I don't like, I'm not going to look at someone and be like, oh, you're liberal, and like talk down on like liberal, because I am still liberal on a lot of things.
Then you're not a conservative.
You know what I mean? I'm not like I said, I'm not, is it called bipartisan? I'm not like that.
The conservatives don't even want you, Chantal. Come on.
No, Muslims, that's the thing though. I know that there are like tooth gap Muslims, that there are cultures in some countries. I think that they misinterpret Islam. And they use that as a weapon. They use religion as a weapon to harm people. Because real Muslims would not murder people for their beliefs. They wouldn't. I can
look at yes, they would. Come on. And like I said, and even Christians would do the same thing. Have you ever heard of the Crusades? Come on, Chantal, stop being stupid. And especially in the day and age that we live in, for you to come on here and say real Muslims wouldn't kill people in the name of God. It's literally in the Quran. What are you talking about? And I'm not saying that people follow that, because there are Muslims that do not. Just like the Bible. There's literal like murder in the Bible. Okay, to kill your child and all that kind of stuff like that. People don't actually follow the book word for word, but some people do. So for you to come out here and say that, oh, there's no Muslims that do that, you're insane, and you're more stupid than you think you are.
So many quotes from the Quran, from the Prophet, peace be upon him, that are against that.
Okay.
No matter what, LGBT, anything.
That's a lie.
So no. Yeah, all religions.
Yes, all religions.
American. Exactly. There's a vision. Hidden sapphire. Yeah, maybe.
You know, that's one of the main reasons why I stopped following organized religion, is because it gets so twisted and twisted and twisted and twisted, interpreted into whatever people want to interpret it in. And I figured, I don't want to follow something like that. I don't want to follow something that man is corrupting and polluting and turning it into whatever they want to. I don't need a book to have a relationship with God. And that's how, like I said, that's how I choose to live. And I mean, this is no offense to people that actually go to church and all that. If that works for you, I'm happy for you that you were able to find your connection in God in that way. That just didn't work for me, and the things that I've been through in life and all of that. But for her to jump on here and say some of the shit she's saying, she's insane.
It doesn't. There's no death to USA in the Quran. Those are extremists.
No, those are regular people that say this.
And behind that, it's mostly political. That's mostly what it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Those people, like, let's say 9/11, they were pissed that, look at the motive, it's political, and they justify that with saying Allahu Akbar. You know what I mean? They were pissed about the Iraqi invasion. Or not, what was it?
I was going to say, excuse me, no, that's not even true. And the majority of the hijackers weren't even from Iraq. They were from Saudi Arabia. What are you talking about? The invasion happened after 9/11. You don't even know what the fuck you are talking about.
Just about something anyways.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, that's not how I interpret Islam. So for me as a Muslim, I would never celebrate somebody being unalived like that. So yeah. Oh yeah, today is 9/11.
Yeah, you piece of shit.
25 years ago. Feels longer. I don't know why, but
not Americans. It feels like it was yesterday.
So, to me, any religion needs to be peaceful because God is merciful. He you know what I mean? Like there's just, you know?
I don't believe that. I believe God is vengeful and he will punish those who deserve to be punished.
So that's my opinion on it. I don't know. It's honestly sickening, everything going on, and yeah. LGBT. I'm accepting of everybody.
You're a liar. You just said you weren't. You said your opinion about sexual.
I'm accepting of.
You said your opinion about sexual orientation has changed, and then you've gone the more conservative route. That's what you said. So your opinion has obviously changed about the gay and trans community.
Everybody, you guys know that.
Please.
Oh, Tracy, I'm sorry for your loss. Happy Heavenly B-Day to your father.
Yeah, and everybody remember, there's a video somewhere, nobody's been able to find it, but I do remember seeing it, of Chantal laughing and making fun of the people that were jumping off the World Trade Center in New York on 9/11 because they didn't want to get burned to death, and the only way that they could escape was jumping out of the building. She was laughing at that, and there's a video of it somewhere, and I'm not the only one that watched that. There are hundreds of people that remember her doing that.
I did see the full footage. Yeah, it's awful because the people who, you know, who were lost on 9/11 are innocent people. The end of my video? What happened? Yeah, Julia. Yeah, so Law's okay with everybody. He doesn't
Please.
wish hate on anyone.
That's a lie.
I couldn't give less of a shisha what someone else's ideology is.
That's a lie, because we've seen his hateful words, especially when you guys were in Kuwait. His hateful words towards the Indian population there, the ones that come there to work. So he is a hateful individual.
I'm not saying I support. I don't want people to twist my words and say,
Please.
"Oh, you supported Charlie Kirk's ideologies." It's not true. There's
You just
a
said
lot
you
I don't
did.
agree with. So want to and just debate him, But oh, I waved my hands in front of the camera. Oh, to turn it off. Because you can usually turn it off that way. So I had to get up. I was very inconvenienced. Oh, wow, Kimby. I don't like the way he talks about Islam and his support of Israel and saying Palestine, not recognizing it, the Palestinian people, but...
This is the thing. There are people in the Arab world that don't recognize Palestine as well. So she needs to think about that. This isn't a one-sided issue. Why do you think no Arab nations are coming to help Palestine? None of them. Think about that.
That's probably the main thing. Yeah. Yeah, true.
Excuse me, YouTube lover. Look at the crazy, Chantal. They took the word YouTube, YT, and turned it into white lover. People lost the plot. Having a reaction channel and spewing nonstop hate is indicative of societal breakdown too. First of all, that wasn't us. When you were questioned about that, whitey lover, you didn't say it wasn't. You didn't deny it. You actually defended it, and you were like, so what if it is? So you're the one that basically admitted that your handle is whitey lover and what's wrong with loving white people. You're the one that said that, not us.
Or no, YouTube lover, right?
Give me a break.
Yeah, things are not black and white most of the time. No, he didn't deserve that. Absolutely not. And that's coming from someone who's like a Muslim and who
What does that mean?
Really, really just, I guess advocates for Palestine. But, I mean, I don't really do that much, obviously, as much as I probably could. But I still...
You do nothing.
I'm so against the, genocide that's going on.
Please. There's genocide literally going on in the country that you're squatting in. There are Christians being murdered because of their religion. You sit there, you do nothing. You don't give a shit.
I think it's just getting scarier. With Israel having bombed Qatar, and now Qatar is, I don't know, Russia's making some noise, and Pakistan, and I don't know what's going to happen with the world, but many people dislike Muslims. It's true.
People dislike Muslims because of idiots like you, Chantal. When you come on here in front of thousands proclaiming to be a Muslima, a representative of Islam, and you do all this crap, that's why people dislike Muslims, because of people like you.
They don't, they just it's like a brainwashing kind of.
And considering that majority of her followers are from America, and seeing Chantal might be their first interaction with a Muslim person, and all the stuff that she's done over this past, 3-4 years on this whole Middle Eastern adventure, all the vile things she said, the vile things that she's done. If this is her first time being introduced to a Muslim, this is what they're going to think it is. This is what they're going to think how all Muslim women behave. You're the one that does this shit, Chantal. You're part of the fucking problem.
Do you agree with Charlie Kirk saying guns save lives?
They do.
Well, it's ironic that it didn't say, it was responsible for taking his life. I think that there is an issue.
Oh my goodness, here we go.
In the U.S. with gun violence. Honestly, I'm just not sure what the solution would be.
The solution would be for you to shut your mouth as somebody who's not American. You don't live here. You need to shut your mouth. Nobody wants your opinion. I don't know if
it's that people are gun happy. I don't know if it's mental illness. Because statistically, you have to look at how many people, children basically in the United States deserve to go to school without having to be frisked for weapons or for having to fear for their life.
Excuse me, what school are children going to in the United States where they're getting frisked? Maybe a metal detector in some schools. No frisking, because that's illegal.
Having to have active shooter drills, there's something, and I just don't, You were just in Qatar, yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be afraid to go to Qatar because it was a targeted attack.
What does that mean?
The problem is that, a Qatari officer and a few other innocent people were unalived in the process. So
you're not afraid to go to Qatar? So I'm sure you're not familiar with the term collateral damage. So go ahead, go to Qatar. In fact, go to Damascus again.
The logic with Israel, bombing everyone and saying, well, we're targeting we're targeting a handful of Hamas people, but you're unaliving. Like, look at Palestine. You're unaliving millions of people, or thousands and thousands of people in the process. Does that make any sense to you? I don't think they give warnings. No.
They do give warnings.
Yeah, Junipers, yeah.
They do give warnings, and if you've watched the footage of what's been going on, I forgot the exact term for it, but they're like door knocker bombs. I don't think that's the correct term, but it's like something that goes on the roof of the building and it knocks to warn the people to get out, and then they bomb the building.
Anyway. Yeah. There's a lot of hate in the world, and what does hate do? And it creates more violence. More violence creates more hate, and it's just never going to end. Gun proliferation. Yeah.
I'm telling you, this, like I said, the feeling that I have about all of this is there's something really, if you want to call it the dark state, the deep state, whatever state, all that kind of stuff going on, there's something really weird going on within the government. I don't like it. And I'm like, I can't even say, like I said, I'm not a fan of Trump, but I can't even say that he's even in charge really anymore. I think this has gone off onto a whole other thing. There's something weird going on. Yeah, it's scary times we're in.
Living in an active war zone, yeah, well.
I'm cool.
Really, Scriptgoat? Hold on, guys, I'm just gonna go to the washroom.
Oh my goodness,
I'll be right back.
Go. Yeah, and I apologize if I'm coming off like kooky and crazy and all of that, conspiracy theorist. I don't know. It's just like I pay attention to like feelings and vibes that I get, and which tend to be correct a majority of the time. And just after what happened yesterday to Charlie Kirk and just certain things I've been seeing in the news and all of that, it's that there's something else going on here that's not good. And I felt like my honest gut feeling is that something bad is really coming. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry if I seem crazy. I'm usually not this crazy. I think maybe I'm a little bit overwhelmed by all the stuff.
Bring her back. I liked it. It's worth a watch, I'd say. It's
Are we changing the subject?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. So, yes, indeed. Yeah, people get upset, Booze in Turkish means cold? Ah. Well, ice cream certainly is cold. I have a vlog I have to upload. I edit it today. Give her back what?
Oh, we're
Bring
getting
her
another
back.
one? We're getting another
Bring her
vlog?
back from the dead.
Excuse me.
It's a movie. It's from the same dude or same people whoever made Talk to Me. Hey, Ruth Ann, happy birthday. Hey, Sophia.
Let's fast forward and see if we're off the subject already. What?
I'm on medication.
Elusive tooth gap. Change this pic and name immediately. What's their pic? I don't see them. Did they block them? I don't see them. Oh well.
Daniela, so it's not ideal, but it's not terrible. Did you hear the new Lady Gaga song from the Wednesday show? No, I haven't. Change this name, this pic? Why?
Well, I guess I'm going to end it here. I just wanted to comment on that part of the video. Like I said, America is like is a hell of a place to be in right now with all the stuff going on. I just wish that there wouldn't be violence like this. I feel sad for Charlie Kirk and his family that this had happened to him. Like I said, I wasn't a fan, but something like that shouldn't happen. Everybody has a right, to speak their mind, even if you differ, from their opinion. Even sometimes, if it's, vile speech, if you think it's vile speech, they have a right in this country to say what they want to say. And he shouldn't have gone out like that. It's just a sad thing. And like I said, the stuff that I was seeing on other platforms, as far as, people talking about civil war, game on, like, just people are really, really pissed. They're really upset. I'm kind of scared to see what's going to happen. I mean, today alone, there was swatting calls to multiple colleges today. Was there a shooting today in a high school? There was a lot that was going on today, and today's 9/11. I just, like I said, I keep thinking, the only picture that comes to mind in my mind is I keep thinking of the frying pan and like adding the extra piece of chicken, and I keep thinking like the shooting yesterday was that added piece of chicken, and it's just boiling over and it's about to all explode here in the United States. I hope it doesn't. Everybody stay safe, and just please, everybody needs to fucking get along. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Like, we need to stop all of this violence, this hate, this separation of the country. I don't like it. This is not how we're supposed to be in the United States. We're all supposed to stick together. and be Americans and fight as Americans together. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. I will see you when I see you. Bye.